Hi, everyone. Welcome back from the break. TJ is going to be moderating this session, but I wanted to give just a short introduction to kind of set the stage for the four talks we're going to hear. So this session is an attempt to focus on what does it actually mean to support, run, um, have high throughput computing on your campus or for research. So the first two talks will have a little bit more of a campus regional focus around what does it mean to support HTC at a campus? Why would you do so? What's involved? And then the second two talks are more about HTC for research domains. What are their particular challenges? What does it look like when they're trying to use these methods for their work? So that's the theme of the session, and I'll turn it over to TJ to introduce our first speaker.
All right, so our first speaker in this session is, I hope I do this right, Sarvani Chadalapaka from the UC Merced, who's going to talk to us about expanding access to the computing instrument.
Thank you, CJ. Hello, everybody. I'm Sarvani Chadalapaka, Director of Cyberinfrastructure and Research Technologies at University of California, Merced. I have a small team of three full-time employees and about 3 students that build and manage large-scale cyber infrastructure on our campus and help our researchers use this infrastructure. So today I'll walk you through how CENVAL ARC initiative happened and how we are using OSG to expand research capacity across California Central Valley institutions. And we'll cover how this came together from choosing OSG to designing our infrastructure and how institutions like ours can benefit from such partnership. At UC Merced, CERT is Cyber Infrastructure and Research Technologies is our enabling arm for research technologies. So our mission is to remove friction from research computing, lower barriers to access to research computing, and we serve as the conduit between researchers and the infrastructure that they need, whether that's like high performance computing, storage, or data services. CENVAL ARC is an extension of that mission beyond our campus to the entire Central Valley. CENVAL ARC is a Central Valley accessible research and computational hub. This CENVAL ARC is an NSF CC Star Regional Compute Grant that we have gotten last year. And this initiative was created in response to a challenge that we all know all too well. Central Valley of California has a tremendous concentration of student talent and faculty innovation, but then it lacks access to equitable access to scalable research computing. So this NSFCC Star Award allowed us to build a regional hub that is centered at UC Merced and provides the share computing infrastructure and training to partner institutions are at CSU, California State University, Fresno, Stanislaus, Sacramento, and generally to the broader Central Valley region of California. If you see the map on the right side of the screen, you see that the geographic proximity of UC Merced, CSU Sacramento, Stanislaus, and CSU Fresno in the Central Valley, plays a pivotal role in fostering this collaboration. And these institutions are situated close to each other, and not just that, but then we also share the distinction of being Hispanic serving institutions, which means that we are all committed to inclusive and impactful research. And demographically, UC Merced shares a similar student population with partnering with the rest of the institutions. So this commonality also ensures that the challenges that we face, the trainings and the tools that we develop will be tailored to the needs and preferences of these students, and that promotes more engaging and effective learning experience. The two pillars of CENVAL ARC. So in the grant itself, we have two objectives. One is to create shared hardware access via Pinnacle's cluster at UC Merced and share knowledge through community building activities and events like CENVAL ARC Symposium. So it's not just providing the hardware, but then providing the training to go along with it, because one without the other would be inefficient. You need both compute and the community. As we looked at how to extend our compute access beyond just the UC Merced and UC Merced cluster, we needed more than hardware. We needed reach, and we needed that platform that could scale, and then without overwhelming the very faculty and student population that we're trying to support. So that's where OSG came in. OSG has offered something that we couldn't build on our own, a national scale federated platform that supports high throughput research and enables campuses like ours to participate within that infrastructure and community. And but more importantly, beyond that, OSG has provided a facilitation model that was suited for our grant context, our institutional context as well. I'll talk a little bit about the whole CENVAL ARC hardware that we have. We have about deployed 8 CPU nodes, 4 big memory nodes with 1 terabyte RAM, and 8 GPU nodes, and all of them are connected with the high-speed InfiniBand network. And this infrastructure was an investment to support a diverse range of research needs like ML, AI, data-intensive science on our campuses. And 20% of this hardware is integrated on the Open Science Grid. And as of yesterday, UC Merced has provided around 875,000 jobs ran on UC Merced's CENVAL ARC's resources. And we've shared about 600K CPU hours with the Open Science Grid. So these nodes are available on OSG. So we wanted to make our nodes available through the compute entry option that has allowed us to efficiently manage our resources through OSG. And why we chose OSG. This OSG team has provided architectural guidance and helped us streamline our integration. What made the difference was access, the timely responses, the direct help, the clear documentation. The technical setup, the consultations were seamless. However, on our end, we had to work through some of the issues on our campus through the previous speakers have alluded to. We had to work through firewall rules, some job configuration, but then the OSG support itself was consistent and has helped us move from concept to working phase, working integration really quickly. And OSG did not just want us to plug us into the grid. They wanted to help build local capacity, and that's the collaborative scaling and not just provisioning. It just made a huge difference in how the integration landed with our community. So how OSG has set us up for success? So this OSG team was embedded with us early. We had a conversation, consultation with this group as we were going through the grant writing process. We got letters of collaboration, an initial discussion of the grant's visions and grant's goals, and how we can partner with OSG once a grant has substantiated to make this happen. And we had our systems administrator was in consultation to build the architecture to align, help us align with the CC Star resource sharing expectation. And the facilitation team also helped us like transition our vision into training and into a collaboration plan. And this is the partnership that was very valuable to us. To the population that we serve is like I have mentioned, we are under-resourced, underserved minority serving institution. And CENVAL, our campuses do not have large research computing teams as well. And faculty wear multiple hats. They balance full teaching loads with research expectations. Many of our students are first generation academics, which means that any infrastructure that we integrate has to be lightweight on the user's end and heavy on support. So it's not just about building the capacity, it's about removing the friction at onboarding and training. And so our challenge was, how do we make, now that we have this technical integration, now that we have this hardware integrated into OSG, how do we make this resource accessible and sustainable in this context? And that's when Lauren and Moran have been a part of our conversations to provide us training. Lauren has given access to these resources to all the the CENVAL Arc Symposium attendees, training sessions, office hours that has really helped onboard and train our researchers, and that was and these workshops were tailored to our researcher population. And so that was, OSG was a strategic choice. And because of the support that's been provided to us, it allowed us to build the gap between our isolated local efforts and then the broader national research fabric without asking our faculty to take on yet another job like systems administration. And for us, that was the key. The integration process and the architectural designs, all of them were made collaboratively. We had to ensure that we could support like OSG's existing architecture, and OSG teams have also understood the limitations of the local teams, and that the integration was a lightweight lift for our team. And the training and support, let's see. For the training and support at our March 2025 symposium, Lauren led workshop on using OS Pool and submitting jobs, and this was transformative. Faculty from math, biology, social sciences engaged with these tools that once they felt were out of reach. More importantly, they met the humans behind OSG and OS Pool and behind these resources. So that built trust for our users. What institutions like ours need? What would be some opportunities for impactful support? If you're thinking about like as we are thinking about working with institutions like ours, for us, here's what matters. We're providing the scaffolding, not just the software, not just the tools, but the tools to help us use this software effectively and walk with us from proposal to deployment. Those have helped us, helped with the were impactful for us. And what would be further more helpful would be if OSG can lead like more boot camps, more hands-on boot camps, more peer mentorship networks in connecting new OSG users to the users that are already experienced using these resources, and then help us tell the story of how we worked with you and how when campuses like ours integrate our hardware and you do these amazing training and workshop, help us tell those stories to do this outreach. Again, thank you the NSF for this grant, and we thank OSG team for meeting us where we are and appreciate the opportunity to be here.
Thank you. So we have a couple minutes for questions. And if Peter Pizzaminti is here, could he come down and get mic'd? Yes.
So I have a question. Thank you for all the good work, and especially for the last slide that tells us about what we can do more or better. For me, that's the most important slide. All the good stuff that we did, okay, that's great. But so when you say a boot camp, how should we do it? How do we organize a boot camp? Do you organize it and we contribute, or do you have any thoughts of how a boot camp like this will look to get it off the ground? And what holds us back from having a boot camp?
In my experience, I have realized that Zoom or a virtual platform is a better way to engage larger audiences and consistent level of support. For example, what I am thinking about is a virtual 1.5 hour office hours or getting started with OSG workshop that happens, I don't know, every once a month or every quarter, that will allow researchers to hop in and learn and come ask questions and come engage with the experts to and then get their workloads kickstarted using this platform. That's what was in my mind as I'm thinking about periodic boot camps.
So can we, okay, we are now in June, so we are done with the second quarter. So can we agree that in the next quarter we'll have one boot camp and you will help us to set it up, come in and get the boot camp going?
We have quarterly meetings, follow-up conversations with the CENVAL, our community. So that can be a cross-pollination kind of an event that we can work on and do a boot camp of sorts.
Okay. I would like to set that as a joint challenge for both of us.
Yeah.
To have a boot camp. I'm looking here also at Christina, and she hasn't hit me with anything yet. So let's try to make it as let's get it done, and see where we go. Now about I also like your the last item about how do we help you, or what can we do to tell the story. And I would like to do some thinking on our side and approach you on what can be done for us to become a channel to tell the story. And it's also important for us to understand who you want to tell the story to. You know, who is your audience? Okay, and once again, thank you for the work and the presentation.
Thank you, team, and thank you, Christina, for allowing, for starting the conversation and for being a part of CENVAL ARC community.